welcome to my channel. My name is Erika, and today I'll be wiping and repainting this Monster High Draculaura doll. She's from the Welcome to Monster High series, and I got her especially for this repaint. Isn't her sculpt just gorgeous? Okay, we're ready to begin! Step 1, we're gonna remove the hair. Take a sharp pair of scissors and start cutting what you can see. Whoops! Be careful with those scissors! Here I'm filling a bowl with boiling water and dipping the head of the doll in it. This will soften the vinyl so we can remove the head from the body without damaging the neck peg. This makes the next steps much easier. Once the head is off, we start in with a pair of hemostats to remove the remaining hair stubble and glue from the inside. It takes some work and a lot of patience. But before long, here she is, hair-free. Now here's where things get a little experimental. Throughout this repaint, I wanted to try a few new things using materials I already had around the house. Like here, I'm using acetone-free nail polish remover to try and wipe the factory paint. My advice? Don't bother. The Q-tips just smeared around the paint rather than taking it off. I went out and got myself some 98% pure acetone, and it worked so much faster. Voila! Using a homemade rerouting tool that consists of a needle cut at an angle and duct taped to a pencil, I start filling the holes in the head with hair. Sorry this bit is off camera, I'm not completely sure what I was doing. You might notice this hair looks a little weird. Well, that's because I tried rooting her with embroidery floss. It's cheap, readily available, and comes in lots of colors. That said though, I don't really love it. It's too thick. Oh yeah, I tried a thing here with curlers. It didn't work, don't worry about it. Next, and this is the part I've always been worst at, it's time to give this mane a trim. There, that wasn't so bad. Looking at it though, the color doesn't quite look natural enough, so I darken the roots a little bit with Copic ink. Be sure to give it a thorough rinsing when you're done with this part so you don't get excess ink staining the vinyl. With the hair swept back and protected, I spray down the face with sealant. I'm using Testors Dull Coat here, since it's easier to find in my area than Mr. Super Clear. I find it works about the same, your mileage may vary. Now on to the fun part! Once the sealant has fully dried, about half an hour, I start in on the face with a makeup brush and pastels. I personally use Richeson brand, but I've heard Mungyo brand pastels work really well. Once you find the pastels are no longer building, or if you've just got a good base going for the rest of your design, it's time to seal what you've done and save your progress. We're gonna be doing this a lot, basically whenever we want to build color intensity or layer our pastels and pencil strokes. Now it's time for watercolor pencils. Sketching in the facial features is so exciting, it really starts to bring the doll together. Make sure your pencils are sharp. Looking good! Time for another coat of sealant before we move on. My workstation for now is the kitchen table, and it's kind of a mess. Okay, it's really a mess. At this point, I'm basically just giving everything a second pass, the eyelashes, the blushing, etc., to intensify the colors and sharpen some of my softer edges. I'm also adding a couple of smaller details, like a deeper red line around the quote-unquote teeth to really sell the illusion, and a small mole on the forehead near the part to add a bit of personality. Polish up the lips and waterline with 2 to 4 coats of Liquitex High Gloss Varnish, and we're done with the face. Time to take the painter's tape off. Sorry my camera wouldn't focus. Wow, she really needs some brushing. Let's get to work. And once that's taken care of, we just pop the head right back onto the body. It takes a bit of pushing, but it's not too hard. And here she is, my first ever custom Monster High. If I were doing it over again, I would definitely change a few things here and there, but overall, I'm happy with how she came out. What do you think?